In this video, I'm going to show you long pages, as well as a little bit about parallax scrolling. So let's create a new document for digital publishing without that text frame. And we're going to say iPad portrait, but instead of leaving it as the default 768 by 1024, we want a long page this time. So we're going to double the height of that to 2048. And there we have our double height iPad page. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put some information on that. So let's create a text box that's the full height of that long page. Give it a decent font size and fill it with some placeholder text. Now let's put some images down the left-hand side. Let's choose this one. Put one in here. And then let's just duplicate that down the page by holding Alt and dragging it down. 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. There we are. And let's just give them some even spacing, make it look nice. So there we have it. Let's save our document, call it long page, and do a build to the simulator to see what that gives us. And here over in our previewer, let's load that up, long page. And we get what you'd expect. We get a double height iPad page that the user can manually scroll down if they want to. So it's a really nice way of just giving your users that little bit extra on each of their pages that they can scroll up and down, see everything that you've put on there. Which is great, but you can do some more stuff with this to make it a little bit more interesting for your users. And this is where the scrolling comes into effect. So let's say you wanted to add something here that gives you a little bit of information about the page. Let's zoom in. And let's just put a little bit of a box on here. Let's give that a color so we can see it. Let's pop some text in here. And let's say this is a title for the page. My great page. Let's beef that up just to show how great the page really is. And let's just nest that inside this box. Paste into. There we go. So we've got an object here. We want that to be our bit of information, our little header about the page. Let's do a quick build. By default, that's going to scroll along with the page as you'd expect. But we want that to be sticky so that whenever the user scrolls down the page, they can still see that information. So let's select it and we'll go to the object panel. And what you care about here is this field here, floats over page. And this just determines what percentage that item should float over the page as the user scrolls. So let's set that to 100%. We want it to float completely in time with the user. So quick build to the simulator. And now as the user scrolls, that object visually for the user stays in place. So what's happening is it's exactly mimicking the scroll down the page, but in the opposite direction. So visually it looks like it's staying in the same place. And that's your basic form of scrolling. What if you want to do some nice cool effects with parallax? Let's delete that off and go to our images this time. Select our first one and back to the object panel. And let's give this something that's not 100%. Let's give that one 90%. Let's give this one 80%. This one 70. 60. And of course 50. Let's see what that gives us. Quick build. And now as the user scrolls down the page, those images move, but not quite at the same rate as each other. And it has this really nice visual effect of them bunching up together as the user scrolls. So you can do some really nice stuff with this if you want to, and you can create depth effects by just having different layers that move at a different speed to each other. You can create the illusion of parallax and depth within your pages.